You work hard. You achieve something real. And instead of pride, you feel exposed. Like someone is about to tap your shoulder and say, "We made a mistake." You don't feel successful. You feel like you slipped through a crack. And the question that quietly follows you is this: if I'm actually good, why does it feel like I'm pretending? Visual. Person standing alone in a dimly lit room. Problem deep dive. It doesn't look dramatic from the outside. You get the promotion, you pass the exam, you build something impressive, people congratulate you, and you smile. But inside, your brain starts scanning for errors. You replay conversations. You think about the parts you struggled with. You remember the lucky breaks. You tell yourself, they just don't see the full picture. This feeling slowly shapes your identity. You start over-preparing, over-delivering, over-explaining. You hesitate to speak confidently because what if you're wrong? You avoid fully celebrating wins because what if they're temporary? And here's the deeper part. When someone compliments you, it feels slightly uncomfortable, almost mismatched, like they're describing a version of you that doesn't exist. Psychology calls this a form of impostor phenomenon, but the label isn't the most important part. What matters is the pattern underneath it. It's not just self-doubt. It's a conflict between your outer success and your inner self-concept. And self-concept is powerful. It's the mental story your brain holds about who you are. If your internal story says, "I'm not that capable," then success doesn't update the story. It threatens it. Visual. Notebook with the sentence, "Who am I, really?" written softly. But why would your brain protect a smaller version of you? That's where it gets interesting. Practical framework. We're not going to fix your confidence. We're going to update your internal thermostat. Step 1. Separate outcome from identity. What to do? After a win, write down exactly what you did. Behaviors, not traits. Instead of, "I'm smart," write, "I studied 2 hours daily. I asked questions. I revised twice." Why it works. Behavioral psychology shows the brain integrates actions faster than abstract labels. Specific behaviors reduce cognitive dissonance because they're observable. Real-life example, you finish a project successfully. Instead of calling it luck, you list the preparation steps. This grounds success in controllable actions, not randomness. Visual. Notebook with bullet points appearing one by one. Step 2. Let the compliment sit. What to do. When someone praises you, resist the urge to deflect. Just say, "Thank you," then pause. Why it works. Your brain updates self-concept through repetition. Deflecting interrupts reinforcement. Accepting praise allows neural pathways associated with competence to strengthen. Real-life example. A colleague says, "You handled that well." Instead of explaining why it was easy, you hold eye contact and say, "I appreciate that." Small moment. Big rewiring. Step 3. Track evidence over emotion. What to do? Create a private evidence file. Every success, write one sentence describing what happened. Why it works. Your emotional memory is biased toward threat. Written evidence activates prefrontal processing, the rational brain, which balances emotional distortion. Real-life example. You feel like you're falling behind. You read back and see 6 documented wins from the last month. Your brain cannot easily deny written proof. Visual. Empty room with sunlight slowly brightening. Step 4. Gradual visibility. Exposure. What to do. Intentionally allow yourself to be slightly visible, not all at once. Why it works. Exposure therapy research shows the amygdala calms when exposure is repeated without negative consequences. Real-life example. You share one idea in a meeting. Nothing catastrophic happens. Your nervous system learns. Visibility not equal danger. Over time, threat response decreases. Step 5. Redefine safety. What to do? Ask yourself, if someone saw my full ability, what am I afraid would happen? Why it works. Naming implicit fears moves them from subconscious emotional circuits to conscious reasoning networks. When fears are explicit, they lose intensity. Real-life example? You realize you fear higher expectations. Now you can address expectations directly instead of unconsciously shrinking. Visual. Person walking alone at night, slowly entering light. Au6. Integration. Here's the mental model. You are not an imposter. You are running outdated software. Your brain installed a cautious identity when visibility felt unsafe. Now, your life has changed, but the software hasn't updated. Success doesn't feel fake. It feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar things trigger alert systems. The goal isn't to inflate your ego. It's to gently adjust your internal thermostat, behavior by behavior, moment by moment. Each time you accept evidence, each time you resist deflecting praise, each time you allow visibility without shrinking, you raise the temperature, slowly, stably, until success no longer feels like exposure. It feels consistent. Visual. Waves moving slowly under soft light. 7. Quiet, empowering. Close. There will still be moments when you feel like you slipped through a crack. That's okay. Your brain is cautious. It learned to be. But you are allowed to update who you are. You are allowed to let your identity grow at the same pace as your achievements. Not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. The next time success happens, notice the discomfort. And instead of asking, "Am I fake?" ask something quieter. What if I'm just expanding? Visual. Slow sunrise over horizon. And let that question stay with you. Psychological mechanism. Let's break this down simply. Your brain has something called a predictive system. It constantly predicts who you are and how the world responds to you. Think of it like a thermostat. If the thermostat is set to 20 degrees and the room suddenly heats to 28, the system works to cool it down. Your self-concept works the same way. If your identity thermostat is set to "I'm average" and reality jumps to "you're exceptional," your brain tries to lower the temperature. How? By discounting the success. That was luck. They're just being nice. It won't last. This isn't random negativity. It's cognitive dissonance. When reality contradicts your identity, the brain feels tension. And the easiest way to reduce tension is not to update identity. It's to question reality. Visual. Abstract brain animation showing two conflicting signals. There's also a neuroscience layer here. Success increases dopamine, the reward chemical. But if you associate visibility with danger, your amygdala, the threat detector, activates too. So reward and threat fire at the same time. That creates confusion, excitement mixed with anxiety, achievement mixed with exposure. Your body doesn't know whether to celebrate or prepare for impact. Over time, this loop strengthens. The more you attribute success to luck, the less your identity updates. And the cycle continues. But cycles can be interrupted, not with fake confidence, with precision. Reframe. You are not broken. You are not ungrateful. And you are not secretly incompetent. This pattern is not a flaw. It's an adaptation. At some point in your life, your brain learned that being seen came with risk. Maybe praise was inconsistent. Maybe love was tied to performance. Maybe mistakes were magnified, so your nervous system made a rule. Stay cautious. Stay humble. Don't assume you're safe. That rule worked once. It helped you survive emotionally. But now, it activates in moments of success, because success equals visibility. And visibility once felt dangerous. Visual, slow-moving light patterns across a wall. So instead of celebrating, your brain prepares for threat. Not because you're fake, but because your system is protective. Still, how exactly does this happen inside the brain?